United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Thomas Wynn.
Here.
Marianne Rosa.
Here.
David Demers.
Here.
Anthony Devona.
Here.
Case Duplessis.
Here.
Kathleen Ramos.
Here.
Jonathan Ramsey.
Here.
Louis Raza. Paul Rinaldi.
Okay. Public participate. Public participation. Anybody have anything to say? Please come to the podium. Name and address. Anyone? None?
No.
Move on. Can we have a motion to vote for the minutes of March 19th?
I'll make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of March 4th, 2019. Second.
Any changes? Hearing none. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? I abstain. Gentlemen's report, there was no correspondence at this meeting, and we'll just move on right to the town manager report.
Thank you. I just have a few things to report on. The Hemingway conversion to the town hall is moving along fairly rapidly. We've had a few hiccups, minor hiccups here and there, but it's moving along and it's on schedule with an anticipated completion of sometime in early fall. Also, we've proceeded with our hiring of the finance director. We had our second round interviews. We made an offer, and Sue just told me this afternoon we got a person to accept it. So we're looking forward to that person coming on board. At the next meeting, we'll probably introduce her.
Great. Okay, subcommittee, we'll move right on to the finance subcommittee. I'll just turn the meeting over to Mary Ann.
Our first budget presentation this evening is Public Works.
Good evening, members of the Town Council, members of the public. My name is Roy Cavanaugh, Director of Public Works. Thank you for the opportunity to present our proposed 2019-20 budget. Department of Public Works. Please don't do this to me. There we go. Budget presentation. General fund, we're going to go through it division by division. First division is the engineering division. We're proposing a 17% increase. This increase is generated primarily by the addition or the reinstitution of the assistant to the town engineer. This position was eliminated last year. We're looking to put it back, particularly if we have successfully get the Public Works road bond this year. Plus, got a couple other things going on. Highway division, we're looking at approximately 1.2% reduction. That comes with a caveat. The blue-collar contract raises are not included in the FY 2019-20 budget, still under negotiation. Some of the other projects we got going on the Main Street roadway safety audit program. There's a couple of rectangular rapid flashing beacons and a traffic study for Main Street and proposed in the budget. Next item is snow removal, 6.8% increase, which is generated by the necessity to replace the cover on the sand salt pile. The cover is in a deteriorated state and needs to be replaced. Solid waste, we're looking to hold the budget steady this year, but we're going to talk more about that in a couple of minutes. Street light, again, there's no changes proposed in the street budget nor in the street tree budget for a total budget increase request of approximately 2.5%. State funding this year is always the $64 question. The first one is Town Road Aid. We're getting, according to the governor's estimate, $349,969, which represents a very slight decrease from last year, a couple $100 or minus 0.01%. The other major budget item that we're getting from the state is the LoCIP project. They've informed us preliminary we're going to be getting $154,586,000, which is an approximately 25% decrease from last year. Staffing levels, as indicated in engineering, we're looking to restore the position that was cut last year. Everything else we're hoping to keep the same. Roadway paving program, Under the general fund and the state funding, we're still at the current rate of repaving roads approximately every 81 years in town. However, we're optimistic if the road bond project gets approved. We have $750,000 per year for the next 3 years proposed under the bond project. So if that does get approved, combined with the state money, give us approximately $1 million per year in roadway maintenance, which will keep us pretty much even where we're supposed to be. When I say even, if we're looking to pave every road, pave, overlay every 20 years, we need just north of $1 million to keep up with that program. Engineering programs proposed for the upcoming year are the Hemingway Pond Dam removal is proceeding. We're going to be finishing that up the year. Pleased to report that the project is proceeding very well, and reimbursements are coming in very rapidly for all invoices submitted. Second one is the proposed 2019 bond program, which we're optimistic will get passed, and that can do some serious improvements to our infrastructure, including our roadway maintenance program. However, we are going to, one of the primary purposes for increasing the engineering staff is to be able to adequately design, inspect, and administer the bond project in addition to all the other projects we got going. The Silver Lake Road reconstruction project is a lot SIP project. We are currently awaiting the PAL project agreement from the state of Connecticut, authorization to advertise once we get a fund firm number for the project. The state of Connecticut will be cutting a check to us for the responsible low bid price plus 20%, sending it to us. We can put that in the bank, have a town meeting to appropriate spending the money, and we can start that project this year. The LOTSIP program, if I can remind the town council, the construction is funded at 100%. And last but not least, under the engineering program, is the hazard mitigation plan. Every 10 years, the town has to update the hazard mitigation plan, and we're looking to do that as part of a regional consortium through the Council of Governments grant this year. Under the highway programs, we are looking at Main Street improvements like we talked about, the flashing beacons at the 2 mid-block crosswalks and the Main Street study. We're proposing to phase that in over 2 years. We're looking to do the Main Street cemetery wall replacement as previously indicated by the cemetery people. We're looking to replace the highway heating underground storage tank. Currently, we have a 2,000-gallon underground storage tank up there installed in the late 80s. The insurance for this one tank alone is approximately $6,000 per year, so it'd be very cost-effective to replace it at this time. And finally, again, under the LOTSIP program, we're proceeding with the Guernsey Town and West design projects. We are in the rights-of-way phase, and we're optimistic that we'll get approval to be advertising that next year. Snow removal project, as already indicated, we're looking to replace the sand salt pile cover. The approximate cost is $17,500. Tighten up the frame, that sort of thing. Solid waste program. We are hoping to complete the EPA closure requirement for the landfill and finally get that off the book and the project, get the landfill officially closed in accordance with the EPA. Of course, that means we'll be monitoring it for at least the next 30 years, but at least it'll be considered closed. Of particular interest right now is what they call mirror stability. This is a ticking time bomb. It's a landmine. Currently, Mira, if you've been following the paper, they experienced significant financial hit when they lost their incinerators for a couple months. The market for the electricity their generator has cratered, and if you've been following the news, the recycling market has basically, the bottom has fall out of it since China is no longer taking recyclables in millions of tons like they used to do. We experienced a 15% proposed rate increase this year They've told us, and it's going to be going up again July 1st. We anticipate this year will be okay. However, I just want to place a caveat. Currently, we're not receiving any money for recycling, but we're not paying for recycling either. If they start charging us for recycling, then the budget could literally blow apart. Street lighting, we have approximately 1,200 street lights, which we rent from Eversource on a monthly basis. We're not requesting any budget increase this year. However, there have been some newspaper articles indicating that Eversource may be going back to Pura to recover some of their costs incurred over the last few years for the storm cost recovery. We have no idea what that's going to be. However, we're optimistic that it should not be out of control. But it's another storm signal ahead. Our tree program, I've been preaching to the choir for a number of years about the ash tree removal program. We've got some other invasives coming through which are going to severely impact the budget. However, we're moving along fairly aggressively on the removal program, and Eversource has been very cooperative in working with us on removing both trees for the ash trees, for hazardous trees, and any other identified trees as we go along. We have a very good working relationship with Eversource. We'd like to thank them. And we're going to continue working on the Main Street Cemetery improvements. There's a whole lot of trees down there which have are experiencing a variety of infections and diseases. We're looking to remove them, replace them on a planned basis over the next 5 years. The Local Capital Improvement Program, which is the LoCIP program, which is the state-funded program. We're looking to do pavement rehab in Section 1 with the money, which is basically the Georgetown Drive area, Georgetown, Sprucewood, that sort of thing. Town Road Aid, that's one of our general maintenance programs that we use for a variety of purposes. We use it for sidewalk maintenance, we use it for crack sealing, we use it for chip sealing. Both of these are, and asphalt repairs, all of these are pavement preservation techniques. What we're trying to do is extend the service life of the pavement and keep up the rideability and the appearance and the lack of potholes using this particular program. We also use it for replacing our signs and guardrails, and we're looking to replace a defective section of Woodruff Avenue sidewalk. Again, this is a multi-year program. We're doing a piece at a time and picking away at the sidewalk. And then finally, we're looking to do some pavement rehabs in the Eaton Street area, which is a continuation of what we did last year. That really concludes the main portion of the presentation. If anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns with regards to what went over any specifics, I'd be happy to answer them at this time.
Question on just Bunker Hill Road. Can you talk about that for like 30 seconds? What's going on with that?
Sure, I'd be very happy to throw Water and Sewer Authority under the bus in the seriously, Bunker Hill Road is currently going to be in the second year of the Water and Sewer Authority project, extending the water and sewer line up there. Again, this was a 2-year project. They pretty much installed the pipes last year. Some of the cuts were in excess of 20 feet. It was technologically and it was a very challenging project. However, they do have all of the pipes in Bunker Hill, and it's my understanding that Water and Sewer will be doing pavement restoration this year. What we wanted to do is let it go for a while and let things compact, and then we'll come back and replace basically the whole road, curb to curb, this year. I can't say this spring, but it'll be this construction year. This year, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be going into the Lexington Concord area and putting the water and sewer pipes in those streets, and again, they'll be pretty much blowing the roads apart. They'll put temporary patch in, and certainly next year they'll be back doing roadway restoration, basically from curb to curb to restore everything. So be patient, and good things will come at the end of the day. We'll have a very nice road. You know, the contractor was out there numerous times this winter repairing the trenches and that sort of thing. So It was a very difficult process, a challenging year. Like I said, a challenging process, but pleased to report the contractor we had, we thought was one of the best around. They really, really did a nice job, aside from some severe potholes over the winter.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Jake.
Right. After the roads are complete curb to curb, these laterals are all on the property of all these houses?
Yes, the intent is not to dig up the roads again. Under the paving program, once a road is done like this, we pretty much prohibit any road cuts for 5 years afterwards, except in the case of a genuine emergency.
Okay, so all these laterals are all, they don't have to dig for laterals or any of that?
Yeah, they do. The laterals are only
On
going,
the road, though?
not in the road. They're going to the property lines, correct?
Thanks, Rick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Roy, I don't know, you have to tell me. What is the ash tree population in Watertown?
The ash tree is estimated to be up to 30% of the street tree population in Watertown. We estimate we have in excess of 20,000 public trees, so we're looking at, could be up to 6,000 ash trees. We've never taken an inventory, but there are a lot of them out there.
What are we doing to correct this?
We're not correcting anything. What we're doing is pretty much, we have a program like most of the rest of the state. If we see it within public property, it's coming down, period. Because there is no saving them, and there is saving them, but it requires chemical injection to the tune of about $400 per tree per year. It's simply not cost effective unless you have a real specimen or a real prime tree that you're looking for, like a sentimental tree for a memorial or something. But in general, we're pretty much clear cutting it. We see it, we take it down. We have an agreement with Eversource. They're doing almost 90 miles worth of road this year on different phases, and we're trying to get them to take down as many as we can, too.
Roy, can you tell me what the replacement cost would be for the highway underground storage tank? Do you have that?
What we're looking to do is put in a 2,000-gallon fire-rated tank above ground. We're also looking next to the highway building. We're looking to remove the underground storage tank, which is 2,000 gallons. And one of the things we're looking to do with the above-ground tank is actually we're going to have a portable pump on top. So in the event of a power failure, it's going to serve as a secondary fuel source. But at this point, getting the quotes from Convault, we're estimating it to be approximately $35,000 complete.
Okay, thank you.
Roy, can you just touch on the cemetery wall issue?
That's what I
The cemetery wall issue is in response to a request from the Daughters of the American Revolution. We're doing the maintenance on the cemetery. Over on the Pythian side, there's a stone wall which has been there for I don't know how long, but it's literally collapsed and falling in several places. Most of which are, fortunately, they're falling inside the cemetery, so they're still on town property. It is a town cemetery, even though DAR takes care of it. We haven't lost any of the historic headstones yet, but it's always a possibility. So we're looking to remove the stone wall and put it back with a approximately 4-foot steel fence coated with enamel and call it a day. We get a contractor estimate approximately $35,000 for it.
So,
It's a special fence.
Anybody? Go ahead.
okay, so the stone is all going right?
Yeah, we don't have any use for the stone, so when we bid it out, the contractor will be removing it. I suspect there's still a market down in Fairfield County, but we're not going to be in a position
It's
to
all
be.
going to be iron fence then, everything.
It's going to be, the fence is going to be, hopefully, well, not hopefully, the fence is going to be a lot higher quality fence than the ones you see along Depot Street. That is continuing, that's a continuing maintenance issue, so we're looking to get something better along Pythian to hold up much, much better.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Thank you, Roy.
Thank you.
And the next one is water and sewer.
Mr. Chairman, members of the council, thank you for your time tonight. This is the Water and Sewer 2020 proposed budget. My name is Vinnie Caterino, Superintendent. The first budget item that I'll discuss is the water operations expenditures. It's very little, very slight increase from last year. There's a $6,000 increase from last year. We're not adding any more positions or anything. Our last supervisor, he retired last June, and we're going to be replacing him pretty soon. So the personal services portion of the budget is $272,969. The employee benefits, slight increase from last year. That's going to be $194,124. The purchase services, there's going to be about a $20,000 increase in that department because of our water utilities with the city of Waterbury. We're not too sure where we're going to end up with that, so we're adding a little money to that portion of the budget. So purchase services is $976,850. One change that we made that's in your booklet is legal services. We're changing the $6,000 to $25,000, again, for legal services for that portion of the, with the situation that's going on with the city of Waterbury. So our total water operations budget is $1,738,693.
Excuse me, Mary Ann, through the chair, his numbers are totally different than these.
Not all of them, a couple
A
of them,
couple of them
yes.
are.
A couple of them.
We got 1,701,000
Yeah.
as far as total goes. And then
Through the chair, can I correct that? What
Yeah.
happened is, this book was printed, and then he had to go to his authority. There were some minor changes made that didn't make it to this book yet. That's why they're
Okay.
off a little bit.
Those like the legal services, we added more, and a couple other things, minor changes that we made at the last meeting.
And that will reflect them in you'll change
It'll
it.
be reflected in the next
Next
book I
book.
print,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, questions?
Through the chair, on the revenue side, second line, we have the fund balance. Is that a water operations fund balance, or is that a general fund balance, or what fund balance would that be coming from? Page 75.
That's their fund balance.
75, okay, fund balance. From general fund?
No.
Oh,
No.
Balance 94.
For the 94,000.
Yeah, that's the the water operations fund balance. That's not the town's fund balance. No.
Thanks.
Second one down.
Right, yeah, no, it's right here.
Anybody else?
For our water capital projects, we have our standard four or five little projects that we do. We replace approximately 10 fire hydrants per year. We have a certain amount of water main material that we buy for $10,000, and we replace approximately $35,000 worth of water meters. And then we have a 3R program for repair, replace, and rehabilitate certain parts of our system for $40,000. So our basic water capital projects
I know.
is
I'm there.
$125,000 for that.
What is it?
The water extension, we're proposing one water main extension on Beardsley Avenue. That's for $60,000. That's going to eliminate some dead ends in that area. It's going to improve the water quality, and it's going to improve the water circulation, reduce stagnant water, and reduce a certain number of lawn connections in that neighborhood. The next fund is the Sewer Operations Fund. Again, our personal services is pretty much the same, $272,969. Employee benefits is pretty much the same, $194,000. Then we get into purchase services.
Wait 1 minute. What was that last number you gave? 194?
194, $124.
Okay. Okay.
In purchase services, again, we have our sewage disposal. We added quite a bit to that because we're expecting the amount that we pay Waterbury to go up a certain amount. We're estimating it, so we're estimating over $1 million. $1,011,209. And then our WPCF final payment is $419,123. So total purchase services is $1,581,432. So that brings our total sewer operating budget to $2,307,775. Sewer capital projects, these are our standard projects that we do every year. Water meters for $35,000. Sewer and manhole rehab, which is replacing manhole covers and repairing pipes, $50,000. And then we have our 3R repair, replace, and rehabilitate for another $50,000. And then we'll be replacing a generator at our Winding Brook pump station for $20,000. That brings the total sewer capital to $155,000. Sewer extension. So we're not doing any sewer extension as far as expenditures at this time.
I don't understand that.
And that's it for this water and sewer budget.
That's what I...
Do you have any questions?
I don't. Sorry.
That's the revenue.
What?
That's the revenue.
Okay, so the sewer extension, even though, I don't understand, I'm sorry. I'm blind. Sewer extensions, you're going, but you are doing sewer extensions, correct? So this is what?
That's just revenue going in, but they're not spending it this year.
Oh, they're not spending it this year, but you are
Yeah.
doing it this year.
What it is we put, every year, we put a certain percentage of the proposed revenue into our sewer extension fund to let it build up, so that when there is a need for an extension, we have money in the budget.
Okay,
And
so
it's
that's
approximately
what's
2
happening.
to 3%.
So that's what's paying for the Lake Winnemont?
That
No,
was about it.
that was a bond.
That, that was the town paying for the
Okay,
sewer, that sewer and water extension was the town fund.
okay.
The
So
authority,
it's an improvement fund, Vinnie, is that what you're saying? That
yeah,
you put away for,
Yeah.
for when we need it, exactly.
yeah,
Yep.
all right, makes sense.
I have another silly question. No offense, but does someone audit these numbers yearly? Because I couldn't make sense of them, but that doesn't mean that yeah, right. I just didn't know whether it's audited.
It's part of the annual
Part of the
audit.
annual audit, okay.
Okay,
Yep.
just checking.
Yep.
Anybody else have any questions? Bob?
Then on page 82, the 252,000, there was a question what that was for.
I'm sorry about that, say that again?
Echo Lake Ledge Road issue,
Last
82?
year and the year before.
did the state,
Oh, for the state, yeah,
the extension?
they did reimburse us all that money for it, almost 280,000 or something like that.
252,000.
Yeah, that was all reimbursed by the state.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, okay.
Echo Lake, oh yeah, there it is.
I have a question. I don't even know how to phrase it. Is there a regulation that would prohibit, and if we have to increase rates, depending on what happens with Waterbury, is there a regulation or an ordinance in the state that tells you how much you can increase in a specific time frame? In other words, can you increase it as much as you want?
We could increase it as much as we need. That's what it's based on, is how much you need to
All right, so
increase
you're
it.
not, there is no regulation to prohibit you increasing it
Nope,
double,
There's no ceiling.
for example?
no. It's what you need. It's what the water utility needs to get for whatever it needs to pay the bills. to keep
I
water.
understand that, but I
Yeah.
didn't know if there was a cap
No,
on how
there's no
much you
cap.
could increase it.
Nope, there's no cap. You could do it like immediately. Takes 30 days to have a public hearing. After 30 days, if the authority votes on it, it's a public hearing for everybody to speak. Then the rates could be raised if they need to be. So there is no regulation as far as capping it,
Okay.
That's scary.
so.
Anybody else have any questions? Thank you. I'm sorry, Dave, I didn't see you.
Vin, the money you have appropriated for, just in case we have increases from the city of Waterbury? I mean, is it, is that like kind of sort of, I know it's not accurate, but
Well, we've been storing money for a while now, for years. So we have our fund balances that will help, if there is an increase, our fund balances will help us a lot. We're in pretty good shape.
are we going to know something about that shortly, or?
Well, we're going to mitigation pretty soon. And I think another 2 or 3 weeks. And we'll have a good idea where we stand, So we have, our
I mean, it's the question that's asked all the time, every day.
yeah,
What's going on?
yeah, we have our
What's
consultants
worrying
working on it.
Right.
We hired quite a few consultants, our financial consultants, our legal consultants,
It's like
the town
Mueller
attorney,
report, all I
everybody.
can say.
We got a good staff, good team working on
No,
it.
I understand. I just want to make sure that it's,
Yeah,
you know,
no, we're prepared,
we're prepared to raise the rates.
Well, I wouldn't
We
say
have to,
that.
right?
I definitely wouldn't say that.
Okay, good.
I wouldn't say any guarantees for that.
Okay,
There might be a slight, if there is, it's not going to be astronomical, I wouldn't say,
okay.
you know.
Okay, 'cause it's a
That's
question.
good, because it's astronomical already.
People ask every day, people ask the question every day, so it's curious.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vin.
Yep.
It's all yours, Tom.
Okay. New business.
Last time, we had a battle with the rates back in '89, and we fought it in court, we won. Watertown won the case, because Waterbury's got a terrible system of keeping records and double talking, and you don't know what the hell they're doing at the time, so let's hope. We got an attorney, so we'll see where it goes.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, under new business, need a motion for an ordinance appropriating $6 million for the cost of a public works capital improvement project.
I move to approve the resolution under item 9A, introducing the ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Appropriating $6 million for the cost of various public works capital projects and authorizing the issue of bonds or notes to finance the portion of the appropriation not defrayed from grants."
Second.
I further move that the town council set a public hearing date for April 1, 2019, at 6:30 PM at Watertown High School in the lecture room to hear public comment on the proposed ordinance. And I further move that the town council hereby refers the project to the Planning and Zoning Commission for the Connecticut General Statute 8-24 review.
Have a second.
Second.
Discussion. Any discussion?
Yeah, are we
Okay.
just approving the public hearing, or we're not approving the money? We're approving the public
A
hearing.
public hearing.
Hearing and
And
going
then it goes to
planning and
referendum.
zoning.
Anybody else? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Says a roll call vote. Need to do it.
Oh, wait, I do it one at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a roll call vote, please. Sue?
Okay, Thomas Swain,
Yes.
Mary Ann,
Aye.
Rosie. Yeah.
Aye.
David Demers,
Aye.
Anthony Devoto,
Aye.
Case Duplessis,
Aye.
Kathleen Raymo,
Aye.
Jonathan Ramsey,
Aye.
Paul Rinaldi,
Aye.
all ayes.
Okay, motion passes. B,
I make a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the transfer of funds for fiscal year 2018-2019.
a second.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes. C,
I make a motion to approve the resolution authorizing an appropriation from the general fund in the amount of $11,798 for tax refunds.
a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? D,
And I move to approve the resolution authorizing the tax refunds.
a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes. Public participation. Anyone would like to participate, please come up to this podium, name and address. Wow. Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn quick.
Second. Meeting adjourned.
Getting tense there.